Hello Forest class, hello Matthew class, welcome to Monday's maths lesson. This week in our maths we're going to do lots of thinking about adding, and that's for reception children and year 1 children. So that's our maths this week. We're going to start our maths lesson with playing a little game. So we're going to do some counting. So I'm going to point at me and I'm going to count, and then when I point at you, you're going to count. So you're going to sort of count one number for every point I do at you, and then I might come back to me for a bit of counting and then back at you for some counting, okay? So we're going to start with numbers a bit smaller, so reception children, this is particularly for you, but it's good practice, year 1 children. And then when we get to slightly bigger numbers, reception children, you can have a go, but it might be a bit tricky. So year 1s, that's for you. Okay, so I'm going to point at me and then I'm going to point at you, okay? So my turn first. 1, 2, 3. 7, 8, 9. 13, 14, 15. Great. So did you get it now? So I'll have a go again. So point at me, and every time I point, you do a count, and then when I point at you, you do a count, okay? So my turn. 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, 10, 13, 14, 17, 18. Great. My turn. 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, 22, 26, 27, 28. Amazing. We'll do one more. Okay, I'm going to start on a slightly bigger number, okay? So, okay. 32, 33, 36, 37, 40, 41, 44, 45, 48, 49. Great, well done. Okay, so what you need to start with is, if you can go and get your number lines, you can put it in, go and get a number line. You should have had a number line in your pack, so go and get a number line. And then you will also need a whiteboard and a pen and a rubber if you've got one, but don't worry. So if you go, pause the video if you need to, go and get your number line, your board and a pen, okay? So we're going to start by doing some adding, and when we do our adding today, these are the words that we're going to think about, and we're going to put our adding calculations into these sentences. So we're going to use first, then, and now. So we're going to think about what we have first, what happened then, and what you have now. That's what we're going to think about. So I've got somewhere, I've got a little dice somewhere. I can't find it. I'll find it. Oh, here it is. So I've got a dice, and we're going to do a little bit of adding using our dice. So I'm going to roll it, and I'm going to tell you what I've landed on, and then we're going to do some adding with it, okay? Now let me just ask you a question. If we add two amounts together, two groups together, is our number going to get bigger or is our number going to get smaller? So I've got two groups, I'm going to add them together. Is my number going to get bigger or is my number going to get smaller? It's going to get bigger, isn't it? Our number's going to get bigger, we're going to have more. Our number's going to get bigger. Okay, so I'm going to roll the dice. Right, my dice has landed on 2. Can you all find 2 on your number line? And then I'm going to roll it again. And this time it's landed on 1. Can you all point to 1? Yeah. So we're on 2. So look here, I've got it in my sentence. First, I had 2, then I had 1. So now I've got, I'm going to show you with counters. In fact, it'd be quite useful for you to have counters. So can you pause the video if you need to, go and get your counters. So first I had 2, then I had 1. So now I've got 1, 2, 3. First I had 2, then I had 1. Now I've got 1, 2, 3. What you can also do, as I thought you could do, it's a bit difficult for me to be able to show you, is use your counters on your number line. So first you had 2, so you put 1 on and 2 on. Then you had 1, so you put 1 more on, and it should tell you, oh, it's a bit tricky, how many you have now. 1, 2, 3. First I had 2, then I had 1, now I've got 3. Now reception children, we can show this as a number sentence, and we can use some symbols to make our number sentence make sense. First I had 2, then I added 1. That means add. First I had 2, then I added 1. Now I have 3. 2 add 1 is equal to 3. First I had 2, then I added 1. Now I've got 3. 2 add 1 is equal to 3. Okay, let's do another one. I'm going to, gosh, I'm losing everything today. Oh, here. I'm just going to rub out my numbers, and then we're going to roll the dice again and have another go. So, roll your dice. This time I've got 4. So, first I had 4. On your number lines, if you put them down, put a counter on 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's quite difficult for me to show you that, but, or can you see? I put counters on 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I'm going to roll the dice again. And now I've got 2. First I had 4, then I had 2. So can you get 2 more counters and put the counters on the next 2 numbers? So what number have you ended on? What number are you on? Have you ended on 6? Yeah, great. First I had 4, then I had 2, now I've got 6. Don't think I can show you what I've done on my number line. Wonder if I can just turn this round quickly and show you. Can you see? No, I can't show you. I can't show you, but I'll hold them up. First I had 4, then I added 2, and now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me show you written down. First I had 4, then I had 2, now I've got 6. Can you remember how to do it as a number sentence? First I had 4, then I added 2, now I've got 6. So 4 add 2 is equal to 6. 4 add 2 equals 6. Let's do one more together. One more together. Let's roll the dice. I've landed on 3. So can you put counters on 1, 2 and 3? Great. Done that? Roll the dice again. I've got 3 again. So can you put 3 more counters on the next 3 numbers? So you've got counters on 1, 2 and 3. Put your counters on the next 3 numbers. What number have you ended on? Have you ended on 6? Great. Because first I had 3. Ooh, can you see them? First I had 3. Then I added 3. And now I've got 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6. Let's have a look at those sentences. First I had 3. Then I had 3. Now I've got 6. Let's write it as a number sentence. 3. First I had 3 and then I had 3. Now I've got 6. So 3 add 3 is equal to 6. Wonderful. Reception children, what I'd like you to do now is go away and do a little bit more of that. So if you've got a dice, you can roll a dice and do it like I was doing. If you don't have a dice, don't worry. You could pick up a number card. You could, I've got lots and lots of number cards, but you could make your own number cards. So find some paper, write numbers on a paper, cut them up. So you've got all separate number cards, and then what you can do is turn them over and pick one up and pick another one up. So first I had 8, then I had 3, and try and work out what you have now using your counters and anything else you need to help you do your counting. So if we did another one, you could be first I had 4, then I had 6, and find out how many you have now. If you can, have a go at writing them as number sentences. See how you get on. Great, well done. Well done, reception children. And well done year 1s for having a go, for joining in with that as well. So, year 1 children. We are going to go on and we're going to think a little bit today about number bonds. Now, can you remember what number bonds are? You remember? So number bonds are numbers that you add together to make a total. So the total stays the same, the whole stays the same, and the number bonds are all the different numbers that you add together to make that number. Now, we've done lots of work on number bonds, but you've been at home for a little while now, and I'm a bit worried that you have forgotten your number bonds. So we're going to start by thinking about the number bonds to 10. You should all know what numbers you add together to make 10. What I want you to do now is on your whiteboards, I want you to write down all the numbers that you add together to make 10. But what I want you to do, I want you to do them systematically. That's a big word, isn't it? Systematically. So I'm going to start it off for you, and then I want you to carry on the pattern that I've started, okay? So here I'm going to start it. So here I have started to write the numbers that add together to make 10. So 10 is my whole, 10 is going to stay the same. But these numbers are going to change, and we're going to find out all the numbers that you add together to make 10. So I've started off and I'm doing it systematically. So I've done 10 is equal to 0 add 10. Next one I've done is 10 is equal to 1 add 9. 10 is equal to 2 add 8. I want you to carry on writing all the number bonds to 10. So your next one will be 10 is equal to, what's happening? 0, 1, 2. Yeah, 10 is equal to 3 add something. 10 is equal to 4 add something. 10 is equal to 5 add something. 10 is equal to 6 add something. So what you should do on your board, might be easier to do it that way around actually. Start at the top, then you'll have space. And I want you to write down all the number bonds to 10. So So you can pause the video now and I want you to write down all your number bonds to 10. Okay? So hopefully now you've got a big long list of all the numbers that add together to make 10. I'm just going to show you something that we haven't done a lot of. I don't know whether we've done it at all, I can't quite remember. This is called a bar model. And this is another way in which you can represent, you can show numbers, and it's a really good visual way for you to see and to understand numbers. So I have started thinking about number bonds to 10. So when you use the bar model, you have your hole, your hole at the top. So this time, isn't it, we're looking at 10. 10 is our hole. So we've got 10 at the top. And then you do a bars underneath and you split them up to do your number bonds. So here, look, I've drawn 10, and underneath this one it's 1 and 9. And there's just quite a nice visual way to represent your number bonds to 10. 1 and 9. 2 and 8. 3 and 7. If I was going to do another one, let me draw on here. 10, and this is 4 and 6. And let me do one more. There's 10 and 5 and 5. So it's a really nice, let me just show you those, a really nice visual way to represent your number bonds to 10. We're going to think about the bar model more, but I just wanted to introduce it to you, to show it to you, so that whenever I say the bar model, you've got an idea in your head of what the bar model is. Now I'm hoping you were all really good at those number bonds to 10, because we're going to go on